Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to try and address a question that some of you may have at this point of time, considering FMS application deadline is just around the corner, that should I apply to FMS? So what I'm going to cover is what has been the trend in terms of the composite score of the last few years and what percentile you should be targeting if you're somebody who is thinking of applying to FMS. So let's first understand what is the selection process of FMS. Now the selection process of FMS is based on the composite score. Now how do they calculate this composite score? There is 40% weightage defined for VRC section, the score that you get in VRC, and 30% each for DILR and the QA section. So the VRC section is more important when it comes to FMS shortlisting process. Now what they do is they calculate composite score using this formula, which is summation of score that you get in the section into the weightage, and the weightages are 40, 30, 30 as you can see, and the maximum marks for that particular section. Now female candidates are awarded additional marks. So there are 5 marks that are awarded additionally to female candidates, which means they will have some more advantage compared to the male candidates who will be applying. Now let's have a look at the past data. Now what I've done is I've looked at the last 4 years, and this is a very useful data. You can always keep a screenshot of this with you. Now what you will see is that there are different categories, right? So what FMS does, and it's a very nice thing that they do, is when they announce the shortlist, at the time they will be releasing a document which shows you at what composite score people got shortlisted. So what was the minimum composite score for a particular category that was needed to get a shortlist. So what you see here is, for example, for if you look at the first column, right, we are talking about CAT 2020 because this is batch of 2021-23, and for this the general category composite score cutoff was 49.363 to get a call. So they always report it 3 decimal places, and that is why you see that amount of detailing that is there. Then, and you can see for other categories, right, for EWS, NCOBC, SC, ST and PWD. Now with respect to the CW category which is there, and those of you who are eligible for this, ensure that you apply for CW. There are different categories within that also. So there is CW 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. So you have the description of that in the FMS document, right? So FMS, if you go to the website, and what we'll also do is, just to make your life a little easy, we'll give you that link in the description. Have a look at that, wherein you will also find the form filling guidelines. So we have also given you text form filling guidelines. That is something that is we are doing from our side. So we'll do that. But on the FMS website, we'll also give you that link in the description. You will be able to find the details of the individual categories, right? Whether you are eligible for that or not. So have a look at that. And then for PWD. Now what we see here is that if you look at the cutoff, that also depends a lot on the difficulty of the test, right? Because obviously the formula that we saw, if the paper turns out to be difficult, the scores are going to be on the lower side, because of which the composite scores will also drop. If the paper comes out to be easier, people start, let's say, scoring on the higher side, obviously the composite score that is required is also going to go up, right? So that is what you see something happened in 2024-26 batch, right? So we're talking about CAT 23, which is last year. The paper was slightly difficult, slightly low scoring paper in that sense, because of which if you see the composite scores have gone down, right? So slightly lower compared to the 2023-25, definitely significantly lower than the 2022-24 levels, right? So if you look at CAT 21 versus CAT 23, there has been a significant drop. Now, what you also need to understand is what is the percentile that will be needed, right? Because using this, you may not be able to gauge whether I'll be able to hit that particular composite score or not. So don't worry, what we have done is I have given you that table. So we decided to look at the CAT 23 for this. Now, of course, a lot of things can change year on year. So what you will also have to do is don't look at that particular figure and think that, okay, let me target only this much, right? You should always target more than that. And that is why we have given a range, right? Because it's not possible to exactly pinpoint and say that you score this much and you will definitely get a call from FMS. Now, because of the thing that we saw previously, which is the advantage that female candidates have, you will see that even if you score, if you're a female candidate and you have scored a little less, you will still be able to get a call because of that advantage that exists. So what I've done is I've looked at CAT 23, and then we back calculated as to what percentile you would have needed. And again, there are multiple linear combinations that can happen for that 40%, 30%, 30% weightage that is there. But if you look at all of that, what it tells you is that if you're a general candidate and you're male, you're thinking of applying to FMS, You should be somebody who is expecting to get a 99.5 or more on the CAT day, right? So if you're somebody who is aiming for that, your current scores are in line with that, you're somebody who is consistently hitting the expected percentile that we give in the IMS, in the MyIMS dashboard that you have. If you're consistently getting good scores and you're expected to get a 99.5 plus, you should definitely apply to FMS. Now, if you may be thinking that what if I'm somebody who is expecting, let's say, a 99, a 99.2, 99.3, should I still apply? I would say that you take a shot at it, because see, things can always move here and there. So it's important that you take a shot and see what happens. The application isn't going to be super expensive or something. What you can do is you can just see whether you want to apply or not, right? So I will leave with you that decision is with you, that whether you want to apply or not, okay? But 99.5 is something that you should be targeting, and 99.5 and more, of course. For female candidates, if you are general, then 98.8. Again, I am not saying that this is going to suffice. You should be targeting more than that. But at this, there is a chance that you may be able to get a score. Again, depending on how many applicants are there in that particular year, how does CAT turn out and all of that, right? So there are some things that are going to be, there are a lot of variables that are there. But 98.8, right? Let's keep it that way. For EWS, a 97 plus for males and a 95 plus for females, right? It puts you in a very good position where you can apply and hope to get a call from FMS. For NCOBC, slightly lower compared to EWS. The numbers are around 96 and 93 for male and female respectively. For SC students, 93 plus and 88 plus for females, and for ST students, 88 plus and 79 plus for female candidates, okay? So for male, female, 88, 79 for ST students. Now when it comes to PWD, this is one category where it may be a bit difficult to predict what the cutoffs could be, because even past data, we have seen a lot of fluctuations happening in the PWD category cutoffs. However, 86 plus for males and 76 plus for females looks good. So you can at least make an application if you're somebody who belongs to the category and is expecting to score in this particular range. Now for CW1 to CW5, as I said, you should definitely apply, because everybody who applies in the CW1 to CW5 category gets a shortlist. Have a look at the document which will be linking in the description to know more about it. For CW6, the cutoff lies somewhere between EWS and general. So in the past, the figures have varied a little bit, but what we have observed as a common trend, right, is that that cutoff is between EWS and general. So those of you who are falling in the CW6 category, 97 to 99.5 if you're a male candidate, that should be the aim, and a 95 plus to say a 98.8, somewhere in between that if you are there. If you're a female candidate, you have a shot at FMS. Now why we are doing this, why we are sharing this information with you, is that because some of you, for example, may not be thinking of applying to FMS, but once you see this data, you may think that now I have a chance, so let me make that application. On the other side, there could be some of you who maybe are thinking right now that I do not have a chance at all, right? Because you're scoring on the low side. Maybe your scores haven't hit these levels at any point of time. In that case, you'll at least end up saving some money, right? So have a look at this data and take a call as to whether you want to apply or not. If you have any questions, leave it as a comment below this video. I wish you all the best. Have a look at the links that are there in the description. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.